Hello and welcome to today's Saratech Enablement Series. My name is Sarah Utsugi and I'm the Marketing Coordinator at Saratech and I'll be your host today. Presenting today we have Kevin Baxter, who is a Senior Solutions Architect at Saratech, and he'll be talking to you about Solid Edge data management. All right, hi Kevin, how are you doing today?
Doing good.
Nice. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at Saratech?
My background is in mechanical engineering, and currently at Saratech, I'm working a lot with the data management side of things, helping with some Solid Edge. I've been using it for probably close to 20 years and know quite a bit about it, and help with that side of things as well as the Team Center data management solutions.
Nice. Well, we're excited to hear what you have to share with us today. Why don't you go ahead and share your agenda for the day?
Today, we're going to talk about the Solid Edge data management, and I'm sure many of you have had your hands on that, and if you do any kind of 3D modeling, you do data management, whether you like it or not. And currently, nearly half of the Solid Edge customer base doesn't have a dedicated data management system in use today. And that could stem from past challenges that it was cost prohibitive, difficult to deploy. Your IT support isn't there to be able to help the engineering side of things to manage a system like that that's got a lot more maintenance to it, or even training. The good news is wherever you store your Solid Edge files now, you have everything you need to take advantage of the Solid Edge data management tools. They're included with Solid Edge. I suspect you do, if you do much modeling, you've used Design Manager. Design Manager is for those of you that haven't used it, it's the interface for the data management end of Solid Edge, allowing you to efficiently clone designs to new projects and manage extensive changes to existing designs. Being familiar with it will get you up to speed to use the Solid Edge data management more quickly. It allows taking advantage of the Windows indexing in Solid Edge data that's on the network drives or your local computer. It works for one person as well as many people in an organization. So the organized structure for the design data being indexed lets me do searches for reuse of designs within seconds and allows for faster collaboration. It also removes much of the wasted time looking for broken links in assemblies or drawings. It also eliminates multiple files on the network drives and local drives, leading to confusion to the latest file to use. I know we can all waste time looking through multiple files if we're copying designs with many of the outdated practices. Built-in workflows allow files to be reviewed and released. And compared to network file management, we have simplified revision and release control with Design Manager. And it's much easier to do when Solid Edge data management is turned on. So in your Solid Edge deployment, I'm sure you've dealt with the broken links for assemblies or drawings. When this happens, time is wasted searching multiple locations to try and find the correct files. What you're going to see today is how Solid Edge data management provides powerful capabilities to facilitate quick searches that help with decision making and collaboration. Where used, searching allows the designers to evaluate the impact of a design change very quickly. In today's remote working environment, I'm sure we've all been hit by that over the last year, that we're now working completely different than we were previously. And this allows visibility for data that others are being modified by flagging the items being changed with a checked out status and who has it. So that information is not available in native Solid Edge without the data management component. We also have the revision control that allows engineering and the rest of the organization to know they have the correct model or drawings and eliminates sending the wrong information to manufacturing or suppliers. So I'm going to get in and do a little bit of hands-on here and show you some of the features and how easy it is to use. So I'll just describe a little bit of what we're seeing here in the assembly navigator and some of the different information that's available here. So when we're looking at the information that we see here, anything that's in green, I have checked out to myself. So you can see I have a couple of parts checked out here, and it shows multiple times here because there are multiple clamps assemblies in this model. And you check one out, and they all show as checked out. And it allows us to kind of lock that down so no other designers can modify that. And it also gives the information here that it's checked out to me. You can see this one in orange down below here. It is checked out, and it also gives me, TC Admin has this checked out. So anything in orange, somebody else has checked out, allowing users without trying to message someone, are you working on this, or trying to have me remember to tell somebody else that I'm going to be working on something and try and coordinate that. If it's not checked out here, you have the ability to check that out very quickly. A few of the indicators here, the icons, give me a lot of information as well. On the checked out parts, we have this pencil icon. On parts that are obsolete, it has the X icon. Anything that's got a check mark, it is released. And anything with this unlock icon is in work and available. So to show you a little bit more functionality here with the data management tab, and we have multiple things across the top of this that help us to get things done quickly. We can update the status info. If we do that without anything highlighted, it'll update the status for the entire tree of the assembly. If I have something highlighted, it'll do just that part. And we can open a drawing directly and very quickly look at the drawing for something. So we're going to modify a part. We can pick open drawing. It'll open that right away. We can get where used information. It'll tell us drawings or other assemblies that it's used in. We have the ability to do a save as. We can look at revisions. We can get the latest, which will go and pull the revision from we've got multiple different folders here, the way this is configured to be able to manage the revisions. We've got an obsolete folder, we've got a released folder, and we've got an in-work folder. And so if there's something in one of the later folders, it'll go replace this part with the one in the later folder, the latest work that's being done. We also can open something in Design Manager that allows us to a little bit more, a different way to look at things with a few more tools in it for managing the release process. So in this case, let's just start over here. I know that this is obsolete, and I'm hoping there are other revisions out there for this part. To be able to see the revisions that are out there, I can just highlight the component, pick the revisions, and right away, within seconds, I can see that I've got 3 different revisions for this part. There's one in an obsolete folder, which is the one that's being displayed here. There's one in a released folder, and there's one in work in progress. So somebody's saved this model or actually didn't update this assembly. That's why I've got it checked out, because I'm tasked with updating this. And so we've got a couple of features here in this revisions dialog box. If we right click on a part, we can pick preview. And if there's noticeable difference, we might be able to see what the difference between these parts is right here. And by selecting these, it updates. Now there's no significant difference that I can tell right here. So I'd have to go look at whatever the information is for the requested change and see how we need to modify this thing. If I right click on this Rev B, I can pick replace right here. And it asks me if I want to replace this in all occurrences that it's used in the entire assembly. And in this case, yes, there's no reason to have different revision. So we can see that we've now got the released model inside here. And to use, I know there's another rev here. So on this particular case, I'm going to tell it to get latest. And right away, it prompts me to pick the part and accept that. And then it replaces it with the part that's in work.
Hey, Kevin, we have a question regarding this part of the demonstration.
Yes.
Is there a list of symbols, for example, check equals checked out, pencil also equals checked out?
There is. There's a link that we can probably share, and it actually explains all of these dialog boxes and the symbols that are here.
Okay, great. We'll make sure to send that out to you. Thanks, Kevin.
You're welcome. So if I look at this clamp, I can look at where used information straight from here and find out that this clamp, when I go to modify it, I'm going to want to know where it's used, other assemblies, drawings that might be affected, things like that. And so I can see that it's used in this BSM assembly, and it's also used in this KRB assembly. So it's used in multiple places. So now I'm going to have to go interrogate these two assemblies to see if the modifications that I'm going to make are going to affect those differently, and maybe I have to create a new part number. So this gives us the ability to look at that information right at our fingertips in just a few seconds. If I open this, it's going to prompt me to save the changes that I just made. Yeah, I want to do that because I want the latest parts that are in work in this. And I can open this in Design Manager now, and yes, I'll save those changes. So looking at this in Design Manager allows me to add different columns of information in here. I can customize those columns, and it'll maintain the order on the columns. I've got my status right here. I've got the revision information for the parts. If I'm going to modify this and create a new revision, so right now I've got my preview on. So anytime I select on a part, it's going to let me preview what that part is. Make sure I'm working on the right part and don't accidentally select the incorrect part. So right up, I can also revise something from within Solid Edge, but depending on how you're working, it might be easier to do it here in Design Manager. And if I revise this, it tells me right away that I've got a draft file, and it revises that draft file at the same time. So you can see that Rev A of the draft file is now going to get revised to Rev B along with the part.
Hey, Kevin, we have one more question for this section of the demo.
Yes.
It's, do you need to have 3 folders in the revisions dropdown?
You can use the ones that you want to on that. And I've got an image of that right after we're done here to show you the way that they're expecting things to be configured. So we've also got another session coming up that'll cover that in more detail as well.
Great, thanks.
So you can go ahead and continue to perform the actions that you did here. When you're done with that and you're done with the design, you can also do the one-step workflow, or you can just release this and it'll do the same thing without any kind of review. If your design department, depending on your process within your design department, you might have somebody that just does the releases of files and they can go select release, perform actions. It'll take and move this from the release folder into the, once you have your revisions on a part like this one, oops, sorry, this one here that's with the unlock icon, if I change that status to released, it's now going to do the same thing with the draft file. It's going to move it from the current location into a new location. Once I perform the actions, I would see all of those changes that are going to happen. So to check something out, if I select on a part and I pick checkout, it now changes that checked out status to me. And if somebody else goes and does an update status, they're going to see that information. When I'm done working on that, I would check that back in. I've got that open right now in Design Manager. I didn't finish the process over there, so I'll pick the other part that I checked out. And if I go in here, make my changes, let's just make a change to this real quick. Just go modify one of the dimensions and close that sketch and update here. And once I finish that, I can save my changes and close that. Come back to that needle and check that back in. And we're good to go. We can, if that was a change that I needed to make, I could just do a one-step workflow or go into Design Manager with this and change the status and perform those actions inside of there. Are there any other questions on the functionality here before we
Nope, no more questions.
Okay. So this is very easy to set up. You can do it in multiple stages if you want to. There's no reason that everybody out there that has Solid Edge shouldn't be using the fast search. And that's very simple to set up and turn on with the Solid Edge options, and then set a folder where your files reside. The next step to that is getting into the release control and being able to set up your vault, which is the first step here, and then set up your folders, the first level folders that are required for the release control process. And we'll get into this further next month. On Thursday, March 18th, we're going to walk through the complete setup process and learn how to configure Solid Edge data management. So some takeaways from this presentation is it's a great solution because it's economical. It's already included with your Solid Edge. Second, it's easy to set up. and it doesn't require any external databases or IT support. The only IT support required would be to access to the server to set up one component on the server side to index everything. So it's very minimal. And if you need assistance with any of that, reach out to us. We're happy to help you with that. And I like this since it makes it more efficient for me to get my job done, especially being remote and working from home sometimes. We're able to accomplish searching for models within seconds. We're also able to see who has something checked out with visual indicators. Additionally, knowing the revisions are controlled through a release process, I can get the correct info to my manufacturing and suppliers without worry that they're going to get the wrong part. We don't have to look at timestamps on drawings when they were saved or created. We can do it by the release process that we've implemented.
Thanks so much, Kevin.
You're welcome.
So right now, if you have any other questions, you can go ahead and enter them in the questions panel. It looks like we do have a few questions. So first is, how long does it take to set up Solid Edge data management?
For the most part, the steps that are required, you can have it done within a few hours. Some of that might depend on your data. If your data is not in a good state right now, and it might take a bit of time to clean up your data to put it where it needs to be. But other than that, the actual setup is very quick.
Great. The next question, it says, does Solid Edge data management support other file types?
The only other file type is a text file that can be generated for your bill of materials during the release process. It does not work with Office documents. We'd have to get into Team Center to manage those type of files or other files.
Got it. And it looks like our final question is Solid Edge data management supported in the cloud?
Yes, there is support in the cloud for Dropbox, Google Drive, and other file management systems.
Great. Well, it looks like that's all the questions we have for today. Again, thank you so much, Kevin. So as you can see here, we'll be having a continuation of this presentation. Kevin will be presenting on that. So that'll be on Solid Edge data management configuration, and that's going to be on Thursday, March 18th. If you're already registered for CES, which you are if you're attending, you don't have to register again, and we'll send you an email reminder. However, if you have any colleagues who might benefit from this type of session, make sure to invite them to that session. Also, we have another upcoming CES on Aeropost that's going to be on Thursday, March 4th. That's a new software that actually Saratech is launching, so we're really excited about that, and we hope that you all take time to join us then. So if you're ready to take it to the next level, Saratech offers much more than just software. We offer a wide variety of options for training, services, and 3D printers. So if you have any questions about that, you can email us at marketing@saratech.com. Thank you so much for attending, and have a great day.
Thanks for checking out our channel. If you like what you saw, make sure to like and subscribe down below so you don't miss out on any new videos. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter for the latest engineering news and information. And to see all of our upcoming events, please visit our website at saratech.com/events.